All right, Sportsmanlike Conduct is back again with more Week 3 NFL picks. This time, Greg is up 2-3 last week.
Looking to rebound a little bit, 2-3. I kind of got burned with the backdoor cover by Detroit at the end of that game, but we'll see what happens. And I got a lot of picks that you guys have as well, but we'll just see how it goes. It only makes me feel more confident. I'm going to start off San Fran again. I think most of us have this game. San Fran laying 3 at Kansas City. Kansas City is traditionally a very good home team. They play tremendously better at home. But San Fran, I got to say, they outplayed New Orleans. You take away that muffed punt and the safety, and that's a W for San Fran. You got to figure that they're going to eliminate some of those mistakes. I mean, you can't just keep happening. And we've already touched upon Matt Castle and his struggles so far this season. San Francisco has an elite defense. I think they take advantage of him a little bit. They can keep this KC special teams and Jamal Charles away from breaking a couple of big ones. I feel like they cover this one easily.
My question is, where the hell is San Francisco's defense against Seattle?
Their defense was fine. Hasselbeck only threw for like 180. And their running game was a good.
Points?
Pick sixes in special teams. Alex Smith was terrible. I know Seattle had at least one pick six, and they had another one that right down to the doorstep.
You just said they are an elite. They looked like an elite defense against New Orleans. I mean, this team. I think that defense is legit. I have to give some props to my team.
I think that they're the most physically gifted defense in the league. When I talk about just pure speed and power, I'll take San Francisco.
Manny Austin, Patrick Willis. Yeah. I mean, just sick in the linebacker court. Sick.
Takeo Spikes. They had a bunch of orcs running around there playing linebacker. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so that one's pretty straightforward. Moving on, second pick. I got playing the number in the Pittsburgh Tampa Bay game. I just said Tampa Gay. Apologies to any Bucks fans out there. I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna play the number and take the under 33, which is ridiculously low for a number, but. Sorry, Pittsburgh with Charlie Batch. I definitely don't see the Bucks offense doing anything against the Pittsburgh defense. The Pittsburgh defense looks just as stellar as it was when they were going to the Super Bowl. You got a healthy Polamalu back there. He sparks that entire secondary, making plays all over the field. Linebacking core probably the best in the league. You got Harrison and Woodley, and Casey Hampton in the middle. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of offense in this game.
And I think a really good young Bucks defense. I'm not a Jackson.
Barrett Ruud.
Jackson is out.
Yeah, Jackson's suspended.
McCoy and Price in the middle. Price has impressed me a lot as a second guy in the middle there with McCoy.
With Styles White on the outside, who's been having a pretty good season this year. I mean, rushing from the outside.
Styles White.
I mean, come on, dude. The guy's name's Styles.
With a Z.
G White.
But I mean, I really like that. I really like this young Tampa Bay defense.
I think that Tampa Bay has a real legitimate shot at winning this game if they can not turn the ball over. I'm surprised that none of us picked Pittsburgh though, because they did go into Tennessee, who is, I would think we'd all agree, is superior to Tampa Bay, and handled them on the road.
They did.
So
they forced Vince Young into 3 early turnovers, and in comes Kerry Collins.
Exactly.
I mean, leads him to a touchdown, but then they can't get the onside kick.
That was one pick that burned me last week. Tennessee falling flat against that defense.
I know this number is really low, 33, but I think
you're taking the under.
I think the Bucks defense at home comes up with a big game and really holds Pittsburgh to a low number. And I mean, Pittsburgh's defense just looks dominant so far.
I like the pick.
Okay, pick.
By the way, blacked out on TV in case anyone hasn't heard yet.
Absolutely.
Another blackout.
Go to channelsurfing.net to watch the game if you want to. Cincinnati at Carolina is my third pick. We've already touched upon this. Cincy laying 3.5 at Carolina. This one's a no-brainer to me. Akeem Talib shut down Steve Smith last week.
Yeah.
And he's no Leon Hall or Jonathan Joseph. Rookie Jimmy Clausen making his first career start, and you're going against the best set of DBs in the entire league. By DBs, I mean defensive backs, just in case there's any confusion there.
In case you don't know what we're talking about.
I like Leon Hall and Jonathan Joseph. They're good guys.
I mean, this to me is the easiest line of the week. The easiest.
I think so too. The reason why it's like this is because a lot of these guys they play the trends. A lot of these Vegas guys in Cincinnati, on the road has not covered. If you look at the trends, like I think they've lost like their last 7 against the spread on the road. But I think in this case, you can't follow those trends so much. Sometimes you just have to look at the talent and field. I think an experienced Cincinnati team gets past Carolina without any problems.
Yeah, I agree. I obviously.
And let's face it, the Bucks moved the ball with ease against this Carolina team. Granted, they didn't put up a huge number, but they still moved the ball well every time. They had troubles.
And now you got Cedric Benson, Carson Palmer.
The Bucks have an inexperienced offense, and they were able to
coming
punch it in very
into
well.
Town. There's no way. There's no way that this game isn't covered.
That's one that
does not look good.
That's one that jumped right off the page for me instantly. Okay, that was pick
2 more.
number 3. I got Washington at St. Louis, laying 4. I think the fourth quarter of that Washington-Houston game was an aberration. Matt Schaub just started. Andre Johnson and the Washington defensive backs just started playing 500 in the end zone, and Andre Johnson won.
Every time. Every time.
St. Louis doesn't have anyone to do that with. Obviously, no one does. I think the Redskins roll here. I think they roll.
McNabb is looking really good. You can't give enough props to McNabb. Jump started that Washington team.
426. They are so close to being 2-0.
So close, but
that might burn him at the end because it's going to be very.
Missed field goal.
It's going to be a tight NFC. It's going to be a tight.
A great
NFC
catch by Andre Johnson, a missed field goal.
Gano is a problem for them. He's a Florida State kicker, for Christ's sake. Of course, he's going to be a problem for them.
But I think they roll there. Couple other lines. The last one was kind of a tough decision for me, but Chicago's look good and they're at home, and I think that they have a very good defense. I really do. I think they have a very good defense. But Green Bay just laying 3 there. I got to have confidence in the team that I picked to go to the Super Bowl, the Green Bay Packers. Even though I think they're not going to have very much of a running game. Let's face it, they never have too much of a running game. They haven't for the past couple of years. They haven't had a great running game. So I got to feel like they get Charles Woodson and the gang get a turnover or 2 against Jay Cutler, and that ends up being the difference. Unless Chicago can just consistently get in the backfield and stop Aaron Rodgers from doing anything. I think it's a tough pick though. Chicago's got a dynamic offense, dynamic passing game that they've shown so far this year. It's a tough game. The other game that I liked was Oakland at Arizona. It was between that and I'm like, I can't with confidence go with Oakland, but I love Bruce Gradkowski. I think that he is going to be a good starting quarterback, and I think that he could be the guy there in Oakland for years.
But if they
let's face it, they're only
give him the shot, but they're never going to. It's Bruce Gradkowski. Or as one of my favorite handicappers called him the other day, Bob Gutowski.
Yeah. At Arizona, though, Arizona looks like one of the bottom 5 teams in the league. They look worse than
Arizona looks different.
Yes, they look absolutely horrifying. But that being said, I can't go with Oakland. It would be a ballsy pick.
What about the over/under that game? 39.5 over/under on that game.
In the Oakland, Arizona.
I'm going under.
To the under, which is why I think the over
is going to take it.
Well, I know this.
39.5 sounds about right to me.
Neither one of them can stop the run.
True.
Neither one of
them have any kind of defense whatsoever.
I think Darren McFadden has a big game in that game. Very big.
All right.
But so the record, go over the 5. We're running out of time.
Green Bay -3 at Chicago is the under in the Tampa Bay Pittsburgh game at 33. Washington laying 4 at St. Louis. Cincinnati laying 3.5 at Carolina. And San Francisco laying 3 at Kansas City. There it is.
There you have it. That's the bounce back from the 2 and 3 right there.